Hello students, today we'll study the story The Chinese Statue by Jeffrey Archer. In this story, you'll find a frame story, that is the outside story, and the core story, means there is a story inside the story. Okay, in the frame story, we see the narrator, that is the writer, is saying that he is at an auction room. Auction means where the things are sold to the bidder who gives the maximum amount of money. Like it is said, supposing this book has to be sold, so supposing someone says 100 rupees 1, 100 rupees 2, and then the other person says okay, he'll give 110 rupees. So again you say 110 rupees 1, 110 rupees 2. So before that, if someone increases the rate, again the same 1 to 3 counting starts. Otherwise it is sold to the person who gives the maximum money. So that is called an auction. Okay, so the frame story, that is the narrator, the writer is in an auction room at a place called Sotheby, and there he sees a statue for sale. So he wants to know the history of that statue. And then we come to the core story, the inside story, which tells you about the journey of the statue. That is, who acquired the statue, from where, when, and how that statue passed from generation to generation, and how did the statue come to the auction. So it's a very precious statue. What was the reason why that statue has to be brought for auction? So that is the core story. Okay, let's see the story in detail. The little Chinese statue was the next item to come under the auctioneer's hammer. So auctioneer is one who declares that the commodity or the good is sold to the person who gives the maximum money. He is the auctioneer. So the statue was the next item to come for sale. Lot 103 caused those quiet murmurings that always precede the sale of a masterpiece. So this Chinese statue was not an ordinary statue. It was a masterpiece. And people started murmuring. So lot 103 means always good items were brought under the lot 103. So that day the Chinese statue was under the lot 103 and it was a masterpiece. And before the auction of the Chinese statue, people, the crowd sitting in the room, started talking to themselves. What item is going to come? Okay, what is the history about it? What could be the cost of it? The auctioneer's assistant helper held up the delicate piece of ivory. So that Chinese statue is made of ivory, not gold, not silver, not any other metal, but of ivory, for the packed audience to admire. So the hall was full of audience, full of people. So everyone was looking at that statue and they all were admiring its beauty. While the auctioneer glanced around the room to be sure, he knew where the serious bidders were seated. Okay, so now an auctioneer is looking that who is going to seriously give a high price for this statue. So he is looking for that person. Okay, and everyone is admiring the beauty of that ivory statue. I is the narrator, the writer. I studied my catalog. Catalog is where you get a complete list of items, okay, a booklet type, and read the detailed description of the piece, that is the Chinese statue. So he turned the pages of his catalog and he read the detail of the Chinese statue and what was known of its history. So from where and how has it come to the auction room. The statue had been purchased in Halichuan. Please mark that place. Okay, so this statue was purchased from Halichuan, which is in China, in 1871. Please mark the year also. Which year was it purchased? 1871. And was referred to as what? Sotheby. Sotheby is a place. Quaintly described as the property of a gentleman. Okay, quaintly means beautifully described as this statue can only be bought by a gentleman, one who is rich, one who has the knowledge about art, Okay, so gentleman who is educated, he will understand the worth of this statue. That Chinese statue was the property of a gentleman. Usually meaning that some member of the aristocracy means ruling class, rich class, noble, did not wish to admit that he was having to sell off one of the family heirlooms. So this was a family heritage. It has passed from generation to generations. So the one who was bringing into the auction room was not ready to reveal his name or reveal himself. What condition had led him to bring this statue for the auction? I wondered if that was the case on this occasion and decided to do some research to discover what had caused the little Chinese statue to find its way into the auction rooms on that Thursday morning over 100 years later. So after about 100 years, that statue has been brought for auction. So the narrator is puzzled. He says, what could be the reason? Usually, some people, they do not disclose their identity when they have to sell the family heritage or family heirlooms. So maybe that is the reason someone is selling, because they have financial problem. So he wanted to know what is the history. So narrator tells the history of the Chinese statue now. Lot number 103 declared the auctioneer, what am I bid for this magnificent example of the ivory statue? Okay, whatever he wanted to say. So up to here is the frame story. And now we see the core story, that is the actual person who bought this Chinese statue from China. So the protagonist, the main character of the story is Sir Alexander Heathcote. Let's see. Sir Alexander Heathcote, as well as being a gentleman, was an exact man. Exact means he did everything exactly the same every day. Same breakfast, same time, same thing every day. That person is called an exact man. See the example of his exactness. You can mark that also as the character of Alexander Heathcote. Number 1. He was exactly 6'3¼ inches tall. His height you can mark exactly 6'3¼ inches. That was his height, exact height. Then second point, rose at 7 o'clock every morning. No delay in that. No 6:55 and no 7:05. Exactly at 7. Third point, joined his wife at breakfast to eat one boiled egg cooked for precisely exactly 4 minutes. So egg, and it was cooked exactly, neither less than 4 minutes nor more. 2 pieces of toast with 1 spoonful of Cooper's marmalade. Marmalade is like jam. And drink 1 cup of China tea. Okay, so 1 cup of tea, 2 pieces of toast and 1 boiled egg, which was cooked exactly for 4 minutes. This was his breakfast every day. Please mark that, his breakfast, that is the third point. He would then take a hackney carriage. Hackney means horse-pulled carriage. The carriage pulled by the horse from his home in Cadogan. Cadogan is a place. Cadogan Gardens at exactly 8:20 and arrived at the Foreign Office at promptly 8:59. So exactly at 8:20 he started from his house, and at 8:59 he arrived in his office. So this is the fourth point. Returning home again on the stroke of 6 o'clock. This is the fifth point. That exactly at 6 he returned home. So these are the 5 points to show how exact was Sir Alexander Heathcote.